as easy as possible. So
you do whatever you do, Pat, however easy it is, I assure you I can complicate it. It is a talent of mine. I can complicate whatever you give me.
no, I believe I could do it as well. All right. So that's any other questions on that? Then I'll transition back to Boundless Apps.
No, I think I'm okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm okay for the moment.
I want to verbalize, and we did this a little bit the other day, but I think it'd be important since we're recording this call for charity as well, since you may be both. Before I get into playing around with Boundless Apps, just walk through an order again. And the reason I'm walking through an order is I want you to understand what a sales affiliate does, and then what the Boundless team internally that's supporting sales affiliate, what they're doing. So I think, again, this is repetitive, but I can go over again.
Yeah.
But let's just say you got a 500-piece T-shirt order again from McClary's Tees. And what your role as a sales affiliate would come in here to Boundless Apps, go under Create New, and go under Order, click on Purchase Order, New Order.
Okay.
What you would then fill out is this is nothing more than an electronic purchase order template. You
Love
would fill out this information. Some of it would auto-populate, like I mentioned, because supplier information, customer information's in here. But long and short of it, you'd complete a purchase order, you'd attach the artwork, and you would hit Submit.
Okay.
That order then would go to an order support person. We use terminology support internally. But that support person, that would be your sole individual contact. That's the person you're going to be working with throughout. So the person's job, him or her, is their responsibility is to make sure that order gets shipped out as scheduled. So they will review that order, look at that order, and they will get with the supplier to ensure the scheduled ship date. And they will then send out an email communication out to both you and the customer. And it'll say, Mr. Customer, thank you for your order. Click on the file, your scheduled ship date. And by the way, that would take them to their portal once they clicked on that, and they would get their scheduled ship date. That's what, would say September 1st, whatever it may be. Then that support person is then managing that order again through the life cycle. So they're following up with McClary Tees to make sure that they have the inventory. Do they confirm the ship date? And once that order ships from McClary Tees to your decorator, they're going to enter that tracking information in the system. Whatever core conversations they have with McClary Tees, it'll be noted in the system, so you have visibility to that. I'll show you what that looks like a little bit later.
Okay.
That support person then would follow up with a decorator. Hey, decorator, did you receive the correct quantity of shirts? Any questions on the artwork? Confirm the ship date. Again, any correspondence that takes place would be noted in the system. Ultimately, that order scheduled as a scheduled ship date. Once that support person follows up to make sure that order ships, gets the tracking information, that again triggers another email to both you and the customer. Hey, Mr. Customer, thank you for your order. Your order is shipped. Click on the link to get your tracking information. That would take them again directly to their portal. And then from there, that support person would gather all the invoicing. So they get with McClary Tees, if there's any freight costs, whatever that is, gets the decorator cost, puts that all together, provides it to accounting. Accounting, then again, you'd have one point of contact with accounting. That accounting person then would create an invoice for you to approve. And then you approve the invoice, they would invoice the customer, and then they would be responsible for collecting from the customer. And
our invoice would still say on it, Limelight powered by Boundless. The Limelight would be on there.
Correct. Limelight powered by Boundless. Your name and brand, if you want to go that route. Your name, whatever you all want, would be on that. But would be on that. But yeah, then that they would be responsible for collections. Any notations on collections would be there so that you would have visibility to that as well.
Okay. I've got a couple questions, if you don't mind.
Throw it at me.
Okay, number one, you mentioned something, I mentioned something before. I just want to make sure we're super clear. There is a possibility that I will not join Limelight. I'm still trying to work through everything of that.
Yeah.
Partnership. And I want to make sure that's okay with Boundless?
Oh, I'm totally indifferent on that. I mean, it started off that way, the way communicated to me is kind of how you were thinking about it. So whatever way, I think at the end of the day, I mean, talking to Stephanie, she just wants you to be happy. It's, I mean, that's
She's a good person. She's
so,
a good soul. Thank you. I
yeah.
appreciate that. I just want to make sure that we're clear on that as I weigh these options and how everything integrates for me.
Correct.
Next question. You said that I have an assigned support person. I do a lot of repeat orders. I've got a couple of programs. My support person, is that person assigned for this job or is assigned to me, the rep?
No, she's assigned to you all your orders.
Excellent. Okay.
So that's, again,
We'll develop a rapport is my hope.
Amen. Right there. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I tend to use a lot of local couriers. I use one courier with frequency for a specific, as I have found that cost is a lot less than shipping via FedEx, UPS. And I oftentimes, I don't know if Stephanie told you, but or you've probably figured out I'm a little analytical. I have a higher than normal industry sales margin. And sorry, hold on one moment, please. I think my phone just tried to answer a call on its own without my permission. I apologize.
No, no worries.
And one of the ways that I get that margin is because of making that benefit with using my courier service. So if we're using the courier service, is my support person going to be able to liaise for that, or is that something that I'll be handling? Is that a problem with Boundless? There's not going to.
I mean, it's not a problem with Boundless. It's just the. Well, I mean, it's in-day delivery. It kind of goes. I mean, yeah, I don't. Yeah, it doesn't. It. I mean, we're indifferent on it.
Okay.
There's no tracking numbers, right? So it's kind of like
there is actually.
Oh, there is. Then I don't. Yeah, if there is, then they'll enter it into the system.
Okay, it just has to be set up by us. So right now, I find out from my decorator, your jackets are ready. They'll be ready at 10 a.m. You've got 11 boxes. They weigh 400 pounds. Here are the dimensions. I call the courier and I set it up.
Yeah, yeah. Now, if there's tracking numbers and stuff like that, they'll just enter that. We just need to know, and then we can get so that they're reaching out to getting that tracking information, right? From the and then they're entering it into our system.
So they'll just call the courier and say, hey, please pick this up. Give me my tracking number. Done. Okay.
Yep.
That's what matters to me. Okay. I asked about independent. There was one more question. Courier. Pat, what was the last thing you said? I apologize.
I think it was accounting, right? Didn't we invoicing?
Invoicing.
Collections.
No, I don't remember what my last question was. Hopefully it'll come back to me. I should have written it down. Sorry.
No worries. I can't remember the last thing I said exactly. So we're on the same page. Okay. Well, let's mess around with, again, so just the clarity there, those things, the order support part of it, the accounting part of it, those are the things that you're outsourcing to Boundless. And then, like I mentioned to you before, and again, I want to reiterate again, just since we're recording this, is if you order something from HIT, you put green imprint, and HIT comes back and says there's 5 stock greens, they're not going to randomly pick one of the 5. They're going to get back with you to get that information. So
also, they're not going back to my customer. They're coming to me.
They're coming to you. If there's questions on the artwork, they're not going to go directly to the customer. They're going to come to, I mean, somebody messes around with the logo and says, the supplier says, I'm going to tweak the G and GE. They're not, okay, go ahead and print it. They're going to get with you. So that's important to make a mental note of that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to play around here then on Boundless apps. So you're still seeing my arrow moving around and stuff like that?
Yes, sir. Okay,
so I'm going to play around with this thing, show you some things that you'll have accessible at your fingertips. So
excited.
Foremost is, obvious. What you're seeing here are these, what I call the big 3 pieces of reporting. It's book sales, it's book orders by account, open orders. So I'm going to click on a couple of these to give you a feel. And first and foremost is sales, because everybody wants to know where their sales are.
Yeah.
So point of time, you can come on here, you click there's a whole series of reports below. here as well as on top. Well, I'm sorry, I clicked it too early. But when I click that icon that I was originally pointing to you, I must have clicked it. It pulls up your sales. So Lisa here, she can see by month, what her sales are year to date. So she knows her sum total by month, her sum profit by month, her margin percentage, her average order size, and her number of orders. All this is real time. So when she logs in, this is where she's sitting right now. So she knows exactly what things are looking like. So and you'll obviously get a bar graph here as well. Additionally to that, well, since I'm down here, I'll just show you this. Sales and margin by buyer. This is a report. This is, like I always tell our folks, this is, to me, the most important report that you can possibly have. So
excellent. So she's got 11 buyers at Burns McDonald. Fantastic.
Correct. So, and then, it's like there's aha moments in data, right? And
yes, sir.
It doesn't take long to look at this thing. So
I heart numbers.
And if somebody's running 34%, another one's writing 22%, and the 22% is a pain in the ass, maybe I should be spending more time with the 34% account. So it's
yep.
So you'll be able to see all this stuff again is real time. So you'll have visibility to that.
Now, Pat, when we're looking at that as well, we're looking at the average buyer margin. Are we able to also allocate to each buyer when we order samples or when there are shipping charges as well? Are those accounted for? You
can, but you're going to be getting a sample budget. So, like if and it's not believe me, from us, it's not a home. You're not going to get rich off of it, but it
helps.
Yeah, it helps. So $750,000 in sales, you get $750 in samples. So you'd be assigned an order number. I'm going to make your order number be sample order number 100. So when you order a sample from SanMar, if they're going to charge you, most of our suppliers, they don't, but you get nailed for freight, right? So you just throw them the 100, PO number 100. SanMar invoices us. It comes to accounting. We recognize that number. Then it's taken out of your sample budget. So
but I can't see which customer it goes to.
Yeah, or you can charge them up, an our charge or sample charge, whatever you want during the order entry process too. It's completely up to you, however you want to work. But you're going to have that budget to play around with.
If I don't use the budget at the end of the year, can I get that at the end of the year?
Yeah, you won't be paid in cash, but we can roll it over.
Well, no, the reason I'm asking is because I'd like to be able to see, for example, this order required for example, I just did an order for some custom agendas, university agendas. And we ordered 3 rounds of samples from about 4, 5, 6, I don't know, different suppliers.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't like any of them. I finally got to the point where I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to make you one. So I sat down and I made her one in Illustrator. I made her planner and we printed it at a local print shop. My point is, though, that all of those samples, I am able to see went to this order. I'm able to I'm able to track the cost of the samples, the cost of the shipping to this order. So when I really look at my actual profit at the end of the day, I ended up marking up that order quite a bit for the time of me creating all the artwork and also for all those samples. So that's what I'm trying to assess. Is that something we can do within your software, or is that something that I'll have to do on my own through?
I don't know, but we'll mess around here. There's sample expense report this month, sample expense report year to date, sample expense report previous year.
Let's look at this month. They should all be the same. It's just different.
Let's click on this. Well, data's not available. That may be, it's July 11th. She may not have had any.
Okay.
Let's see what we got here. Why is it not showing up here for her?
The other side of it is I already use QuickBooks. It's just more data entry for me, but I find that information valuable. Because at the end of the day, sure, I may do an order for $10,000 at a 50% margin, but if I just spent $1,000 in samples, then
for whatever reason on login as her, I have zeros here, and that's unusual. So I don't.
Does she have a sample budget?
Yeah, well, she has a sample budget. I just don't. Did she use it all?
Unless she does less than 750 in sales. Maybe if she's doing like 650 in sales, she's not getting a sample budget.
Yeah, no. If you do, $500,000 in sales, you got a sample budget, and she's done 100,000 calendar year to date. I don't know why this isn't in here. And there may be a reason, but here, well, let me sum it up. I'll have to look into this, but bottom line is the data's in here, right? Because we provided an order number, so the reporting is there. I know the reporting is there. Why it's not here and we're not able to look at it, I don't know the answer to that, but I know the reporting is available. So
I'm sure we'll figure out a way to find the numbers match up.
Yeah, and that's important though that you asked that though. I mean, and another thing for you to, and again, there's so much here, but another thing you put in your memory bank, and like I tell our folks all the time, I wish more of them were data analytics like you are, but
well, I paid $2,000 for mine.
Yeah, we can do customized reporting all day long, and we do that. And we highly recommend that, especially for bigger counts and stuff like that. So you can look at sales by SKU and all kinds of stuff. So just keep that in. I know the sample reporting is there. That's easy. I just want to give you a bigger picture that whatever hell reporting you want to run, more than likely we can reconfigure it and run it. Because we customize reporting all the time.
Excellent. Thank you, Pat.
So, okay. Let me click on this because this is open order status report. And let me define what an open order status report is for you first. Open order status in the boundless world is an order that is everything from where you're entered an order halfway, you hit the save button and submitted it, to an order being invoiced. Every order that hasn't been paid is considered an open order. So one thing for you to make a mental note of here too is that, and Stephanie may have mentioned this, is that the system you'll hear me use this language description as the system. The system tracks the order.
Lovely.
The order is getting a barcode, and the system is tracking your order as it moves to different stages, which we've identified 7 within the production stage life cycle of an order, from an order being prepared to an order being invoiced.
Okay.
Think of your order again, getting a barcode. So the system is tracking your order as well as your support person is tracking the order. So on the open order status report, this contains all those orders that are considered open, everything that hasn't been.
May I interrupt, please? I remembered my question. When you said my person is tracking the order, the systems are tracking the order, that was my question. So sometimes people are out on vacation. Do you guys provide someone that's covering that desk when they're gone?
Correct. Yes. Well, yes. That you'd have a person that would be assigned to you, and that
my person would debrief them before they go, ideally, whatever.
Would debrief them, but again, the system. That's the magic here a little bit, the magic recipe, so to speak, because you have the system. Everything's within the system, right?
Yeah.
So high level overview, and then the details are here. So all this stuff is accessible to your support person, as well as anybody that would come in to pick the slack up. But one thing that's important to make a mental note, though, is that with these stages, the order based on the scheduled ship date is allocated a period of time within each stage.
Excellent.
So if it stays in a stage longer than it should, it gets red flag. It alerts.
Oh my gosh, music to my ears.
Support person. If they don't execute on it, then it gets the supervisor. Now, one thing that, and I don't want to, and again, I want just for clarity's purposes here, the system and the human is tracking it. It eliminates a lot of little things from happening, but nobody's perfect, right? So there's stuff that's going to happen, right?
Yes.
That enables a lot of stupid stuff from happening. So
yes.
Anyhow.
This is exciting. I love this. This is great.
So all this you'll see here, title bar, it's pretty self-explanatory, purchase order, order description, the account, the financial data, created date, enhanced date. And then this lighter shade of blue is the stage, order being prepared. And then there's 21 orders. An order being prepared, again, is an order that hasn't been submitted. She's waiting. Lisa's waiting on some information or whatever it may be. Or in
Okay.
orders are pretty
So we
damn
want to
old.
order jackets, she's waiting on a size breakdown, or she created the estimate, she's waiting on the estimate's approval.
Or the order hasn't even, because some of these things are so old. I mean, it goes back to September of 2018. Some of them are probably that she just that never took place and she forgot to delete it. But-
So if I am working, so I apologize. Right now, I currently use Trello, okay? And I have a stage that says sampling. So I've ordered samples, so there are costs associated, but it hasn't converted because I haven't received an approved estimate. So is that kind of what's happening here at the top of her stage? Could that be this? Because
could be that. It could be all the above. Waiting for artwork, waiting for approval from a supervisor.
And can she allocate costs to something in this stage?
You can allocate costs at any point in time during the process.
Lovely.
So, I mean, we want to do it obviously before we invoice. So at any point in time, you can come in here and pop in a cost if you need to drop it in there. So it's just communication, right?
Right.
So, and again, you're not going to do this, but well, you may do it. This high level, you know, here's all your orders, right, that are open. So all the stages here, stage 2, stage 3, and so on. Now, more than likely, you're going to type, if you're going to do a search, you're just going to type in the order number, or you're going to just type in the buyer, and it'll pull up the order. But you have access to the order also here as well. So, you'll see here, she's got a large program with Burns and McDonald, so that's why we see this all the time here. But I'm just going to pick one out here. Say, I don't know, let's see here. Backpacks. So let's just pretend this is high profile. You're sitting there at midnight. You want to know where the hell it is that's keeping you up at night. So you can click on it, and it'll take you to order detail. This is an order detail report. Order detail report is exactly what it says it is. It's everything, right? Every purchase order and everything any notations that have been made on the order. So all that information is housed here. And I'll scroll down here, and you'll see here support notes. I don't know the details of why this was entered in the system, but support notes, these are all the notations that have been entered by JB. I don't know who JB is, but well, I should know who JB is, but JB is the support person who is assigned to Lisa. So you'll see all these notes taken here, the dates, and then whatever notations that are noted here. And this would make sense to Lisa. Doesn't make sense to me, but she can come in here point in time and look at that, right? So she knows what JB is working on, and she can call JB on if she has any questions on it, talk through some of this stuff. So that's the human notations that have taken place thus far. And then you'll also notice the system tracking the order as well. So you'll see system, and then J. Bradford. That's the account.
Can you scroll up just a little bit, please, Pat?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Check. It looks okay. Oh, because the top one said Ariel. So this is a single order that has two components, part of it from Lanco, part of it from Ariel, and you guys are able to keep that together as one order.
Correct. Yeah, because you'll see the products down here are down here. So these are all the items. So actually, there's more than even Ariel. It's chocolate in Ariel.
Is there fulfillment happening on this order, or are they each independently drop shipping to the customer?
I don't.
Are you able, I guess really more the important question, it's none of my beeswax what she's doing, are you able to provide fulfillment?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was just at our short answer is yes. Now I'm going to give you an answer because we have a for our larger programs. I was just there this week actually. In Kansas City, we have a fulfillment house that we use for our larger programs. They do quite a bit with us in Kansas City, and the reason they're there is because we use them is because they're centrally located, right?
Yeah.
No programs, but we can plug into any fulfillment provider out there. Southern California, we got a handful that are available there. I don't know who they are off the top of my head. But yeah, short answer is yes.
But we can provide that. Another thing, this isn't an expectation, it's just a question, is I've had my friend and her teenage kids help. It's cheap labor, it's local, I can watch them.
Yep.
Am I allowed to do things like that? And then they just bill you guys?
You just enter them as a supplier. That's all they are. Is there a
Okay,
so they're
perfect.
a purchase order supplier. Let me see here. I'm gonna pull up her purchase order and see what it looks like here.
So I can use my neighbor's kid. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of there's nothing better than child labor, right? So,
I'm all for it. And you know what? At the holidays, so are those kids. So
you know it. Yeah, I don't know, but she's got some special shipping instructions. I'm sure she attached it somewhere, but I'll get us all screwed up. So I'm not going to go.
it's all good. I think we're doing great. I'm really liking what I'm seeing so far.
Okay, cool. So, all right. So yeah. So I mean, this going back. Here's the system is notating, tracking the order as well. So you've got those things going hand in hand. I'm going to get into the weeds a little bit here, but if I want to reorder do a reorder, click reorder here. I can go
Right.
click clone. I can do that.
Right.
I want to create a packing slip. I click on packing slip. Sometimes you're shipping stuff to a warehouse, and the packing slips need to be attached to the outside of the box. You can provide the packing slip to. Sorry, click that out. You can provide a packing slip to for the supplier. If you create an estimate, you can do that here too. So all this stuff is intended to just streamline the process as it relates to your order entry and an execute task. So
I noticed at the bottom, tax status order should be taxed. So one of the perks and one of the ways I actually sell myself to out-of-state customers is that we do. So I have some customers, for example, in New Jersey. I've got quite actually a few on the East Coast, and I sell myself as well. We're in California, so you will get East Coast freight. It just means I use an East Coast factory. I use Hit Promo instead of using Logomark.
yep.
And we don't charge tax because we're in California. How does that work with Boundless now? Am I going to have to start charging?
We charge tax. Now I'm going to be, and I get this question quite a bit, and I used to have the same perception as well. Somebody's got to pay the tax, right? If we don't,
Not really.
well, I mean, it's a sales tax, so it's a transaction. So if we don't charge a sales tax, their accounting team is definitely picking up and charging a sales is assigning that tax. They have to, otherwise any company of decent size would get audited, and that would be a big no-no. So there's no way of skipping out on Uncle Sam on that stuff. I mean, you can.
I guess it's because we're small right now. That's what I'm used to.
No, it's because really your buyers don't understand. The buyers aren't seeing it, right? But the accounting department their accounting department is definitely allocating us. If a vendor doesn't charge us we've got to put in that sales tax. Otherwise,
Really?
yeah. And if we get to go, you want to go down to Austin still, and you meet, the financial guys, I'll have them explain it from a CPA perspective, why the legalities behind that is.
That's actually a perk to me. The fact that if they can explain that to me.
Yeah, and they can explain it to me too, but they're from an accounting perspective.
Yeah.
But that I do know, but they can give the legalities is exactly as to how they do it. Because that's, if I were you, that's what I'd want to know. So I'm not charging them sales tax. What do you mean they're going to charge the sales tax? Why are they getting charged? And then
Yeah, because some of my customers are going to have to get used to that.
How do they go about doing that? And then I think we can give you some talking points because they are getting charged as to why. But yeah, we can deal with their. But yeah, your buyer just doesn't.
Just tell me how to sell it. That's really the big thing. Tell me how to not lose my customers when I originally sold myself as, by the way, I'm out of state. And I know you're in New York and I'm in California, but number one, you're not going to pay more freight. And number two, there's no sales tax.
Yeah.
So if you can tell me how to sell that, then.
We'll put some bullet points together, I promise you.
Perfect.
All right. I think I'm done with this part of it. You any questions on this?
No, this is actually really not self-explanatory. It's very clear. Sorry.
Okay. All right. So we got that part of it. This stuff. This drives me nuts. But anyhow, you talk about CRM and stuff like that. She doesn't use this. I wish she did. But like my task, assigning tasks and alarms and stuff like that.
Follow up on Padfolio. Yeah, I get it.
So all this stuff can be done here. I mean, it's all, it's a new task. You put
Is it possible to share those tasks? So if I
Yes.
have my own login and Charity has her own login, can she see those things?
Yes, we can give her access to that stuff. So it can be a win.
Can you give access to only certain parts of things?
Um,
Question TBD. That's okay.
that's a TBD one on that one. I
That's
want
okay.
yes on that because I'm not sure. But
Because, for example, if I have another sales rep, I'd love to be able to share tasks, but not share all of my customer reporting data.
yeah, no, I totally get it. So I'll get back to you on that one.
Lovely.
Calendar. This can link into Outlook actually. So, but she doesn't have it connected. More reports. Like I mentioned, there's all kinds of reports here. This is important. You'll be very sensitive to this. This is the tier 1 supplier spend because this is what was reflective on your rebate. So you always want to know where the hell this number is. So this will list out all your preferred tier 1 vendor sales, and these are all companies that pay a rebate.
Okay.
Some exclusions, like for example, Sanmar doesn't pay a rebate on T-shirts, and some people don't pay money on golf balls. But for the most part, you're going to have a really good idea of what the heck your rebate's going to look like at the end of the year.
And this is most of my suppliers right here.
Yeah, we have actually more tiered 1 vendors, but she does a pretty good number here. This is her COGS, right? She did 530 in sales. She's got a 35% margin, so she's probably doing 65% of her business just with these guys.
Yeah, no, I am too. Looking at these companies.
Tier 1. So, so that's that. What else?
Pat, I have a question for you.
Throw it at me.
As a VP of sales, I've always kind of ethically been against a rebate for a couple of reasons. One is that sometimes I'm competing on price.
Yep.
That rebate at the end of the year doesn't really help me when I'd rather just 3 cents lower right now.
Yep.
And then also because usually my understanding was that rebates are kickbacks. Like we don't, from a business standpoint, kickbacks are supposed to be illegal. So like why is that a perk that I want? I've always kind of been against rebates, and I've always kind of turned my nose up at Halo and other companies that give them. So
I didn't really like rebates either as a supplier, quite honest, and I really never understood them because really in reality you want the cash up front. But what it does, is I wouldn't look at it as unethical because it's typically what a lot of times it's written in with customer agreements and everything else. Just like when we have a supplier agreement, a rebate is written into it. But what candidly is it provides discipline to the organization, in this case Boundless, to have a sizable check that comes back at the end of the year. Because candidly, it's a rebate functionality is simply discipline. As it relates to and it's discipline to the salesperson too. Now you may be more disciplined than others, but it's nice to come in if you're averaging a 35% margin to get 2% of your sales with preferred vendors back at the end of the year. So nobody's typically arguing the value, the passing on a check.
yeah.
That being said, I mean, and be very clear on this here too, is you said something at the beginning, which I think is the more important question here, and that's hey, if I got a big order and the supplier's got an extra 2%, I want the extra 2% to get the damn order.
Yeah.
And I tell you, I want the order too. So, we can go to whomever it may be and say, listen, waive this order, make this order be non-rebatable. I need the price.
Excellent. That is music to my ears.
So we can do that, but it'll be a nice check for you at the end of the year, regardless.
Yeah.
It's a discipline.
I've never gotten a bonus in my life, all my working years. This will be exciting. Oh wait, yes, no, I did 1 year. I got 1 year.
But I will tell you, on a rebate, a rebate. Oh, this is off the record. Don't say I repeated this. I mean, again, to me, it's lack of discipline. But you didn't hear that from me. Every
To be honest, though, and I so appreciate your candor. I value it. I respect it. The fact that you are so candid is something that attracts me to Boundless because that's a cultural thing.
yeah,
A candid person does not last at a company that likes to keep secrets.
no,
So,
and again, it's just it's a lack of discipline on sales, really.
what discipline though? What do we mean by?
So it's what we're saying is that we need a rebate because we don't believe we can get that additional 2%. We're not disciplined to keep the margins where we can get them. You know.
Oh, Pat, if I told you what my average margin was in 2018,
Yeah, but some people would hyperventilate.
not my problem.
At that, right? They said, no way, I can't do it. You know, so it's again,
Pat, you'll be happy to have me. Put it this way, you'll be happy to have me. The average industry is 40%, right? I'm above that.
Yeah. So again, so that's my feelings on it.
Thank you.
What else can I show you? Aging report.
If there's a collection situation, it's been so 90% of my customers are due on receipt. I don't really give away terms because I like to get paid.
Yep.
So number one, do you guys automatically give terms, or what do your invoices say by default? Do I get to choose that, or does it say due on receipt?
I mean, you can choose to collect. We give net 30. That's how.
I mean, why give net 30 if you don't have to?
Exactly. So if you can get the cash up front, the sooner, then the incentive to you is that you get paid sooner, right?
I get paid on average by my customers in about 10 days right now.
Yep, and that's a beautiful thing. And then that way, that's a win-win for you all to get that. You will run into customers as time goes on, depending on what type of accounts you want to go after. That say,
Kraft Foods was that we are net 90.
Take it or freaking leave it. Yeah, and
exactly. Well, they told me that very explicitly,
and they're big enough to warrant that. But I mean, I wouldn't say warrant that. Then it's a business decision, right?
Yes.
Well, and that's all right. I'm fine with that.
So when I'm setting up my accounts with you guys, can I tell you, hey, Melissa, I want my university to be due on receipt. I know they'll pay in 5 days. You want the cash. I want the cash. Please send me.
Yeah. All those things are things that you can communicate to Melissa. Melissa, then the accounting team can make a notation in the system as it relates to collections. So all those things are really important. Another thing that's going to be really important for you to communicate during that transition process is I'm dealing with company X. They do, whatever, $100,000 with me. They need to be a credit limit or something like that. Because part of the thing that accounting does is do background checks, right?
Yeah.
They don't know what you know, right? You've been working with these guys for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Give me some insight on how they pay, how much volume they're doing and stuff like that, so we can set the terms up appropriately.
Excellent.
So, but aging, again, here's an aging report. You'll see exactly kind of where you're sitting at. I mean, our average days outstanding, I think, is about 32 days.
Okay. So if someone's at 32 days, are you reaching out to me for first touch?
No, we'll reach out to you probably. We'll notify you where there's red flags is where we can't get a hold of anybody. And 90% of the time, candidly, it's because we don't have the right information.
Yeah.
Contact information. The other 10% of the time, then you.
I guess I'm trying to figure out: are you reaching out to my buyer because that's the name on the account, or are you calling up Boston University and saying, hey guys, we need to get this paid. So can you transfer
whatever you put into this database is what they'll go after.
Okay, so I assign a process for the accounting follow-up.
So if it's centralized billing with Boston Consulting, they're going to count. You're going to put the accounts payable division in there, department in there, their contact information. And those are
I set an accounting or a collections agent. Okay, good.
Okay. All righty. I've been on here for a while. Let me talk about marketing here. So we have 4 people in marketing. Great ladies. They're younger demographics wise, and they're kind of they're far more in tune with, social media, all the things that go along with.
Can you hang on for 2 seconds, Pat? I'm so sorry.
Sure.
Let me do that.
No problem. Take your time.
Thank you. Hey, just wanted to see if you needed it. Oh, you're sucking up for me. You're a rock star. Thanks, girl. Sorry, we've got fulfillment happening next door.
Oh,
Okay.
no worries.
Okay.
So the marketing department, we've got 4 folks in there. They're continuously creating collateral content for the affiliates to use as they see fit.
Okay.
Some of that is social media, like I mentioned. You'll see blogs, things that they write out that's conducive to, the 4 biggies: Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and what's the other one? Snapchat, or I don't know. But it's not Snapchat. Snapchat's part of Facebook. I forget who the other one that they got. But anyhow, they create content that can be used for that. We do electronic marketing. Like I mentioned to you on the previous call, the electronic marketing goes out every 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
We do a couple things a little bit different. We customize it, we automate it. And the customization is just simply putting your name on the content. And like I said, if you go under a different brand and whatnot, not only is your contact information going to be there, your name, your phone number, but also your company name is going to be noted on there. So anything electronically that would go out would have that information on it, and it'd appear to them, the recipient, your customer, your prospect, that content is coming from you, because it'll have your email address on there. It won't come from this boundless place.
It'll have a sent from me. Okay.
Yeah. The other big thing is that and this is a modern 21st century constant contact type of method, but it's going to be automated too. So I'm going to give
Show my CRM.
Yeah, so you meet Bill Smith, and he works for the marketing department of Lakers. You would come in here and you want to market to this guy. You'd enter him as a prospect or a lead in this case. You'd fill out whatever information is on his business card.
Can you hang on 1 second, Pat? I'm sorry.
Sure, absolutely.
Wait, do you want to watch this? I don't have another chair, but maybe we can go in the other room. Or is that okay? Sorry, Pat. Charity's going to join us for this part. Yay!
Charity, were your ears ringing? We were talking about you.
Yay! Okay, so Pat's showing me how we can add these now, so we can track from the get-go with potentials that have not ordered yet. Okay.
So this is example. What I just did was click on new lead. So this, again, I'm using an example. You meet somebody in the marketing department at the Los Angeles Lakers, and you want to send them stuff, right? You would come in here, you'd enter that person's contact information, and there's a section called marketing communications below the address information and there's a series of boxes. These are all electronic marketing pieces that you can click. And when you click it and you hit enter, you can go to bed at night knowing that these guys, that person will be either contacted, will receive an email from you every other week or monthly on promotional swag items.
Okay.
So that stuff will be continuously kicked out. Some of it will be educational. If you've been on our website and you've seen some of the blog posts, you'll notice some of that content is educational. Other marketing content is theme related, like golf, and then promotional product items that are around golf. So, but it's just kind of a drip campaign, and in the electronic marketing is again just something that the marketing department continuously kicks out, again on a bi-weekly and monthly basis.
Perfect.
Another area, Jen, just speaking of marketing, and I'm going to click on this place called the Resources tab, and this is a place that you'd be at quite a bit. Think of this as the library of information. So there's all kinds of collateral that's available, or things that are accessible under the Resources tab. You'll see it up on top here. So marketing material, resources, training and technology, supplier information, company values and resources. So these are all marketing pieces, and I've got PDFs, PowerPoints, videos, all content that you can pull and use as you see fit. So as I'll scroll down here, if you're looking for why Boundless and you want to create awareness, and you'll see different types of subject headings. So awareness, this is more prospecting. Consideration, this is somebody who knows you. These are two area buckets here. When I click on the icon, it'll list out a bunch of content that's accessible for you. So each dot here represents a marketing piece that you can use as you see fit. So this is creating awareness. You'll see a coffee bag mailer. That's just a PSA piece that's available for you. And as a co-brander, if you want to put your brand on that piece, you're more than welcome to do this. All that stuff is automated.
You read my mind.
Videos, there's all that stuff that's accessible for you to use. So and what you'll find, most co-branders, what you'll find sometimes is sometimes you'll bounce back and forth. And sometimes you'll be 100% on your brand. Other times with other accounts, you may just use the Boundless stuff. Again, it's completely up to you. I don't really care. Whatever you think moves the needle with that particular account. So all this stuff is accessible to you. We have a lot of stuff. When I say sending out Boundless stuff that just says Boundless information, like for example, case studies and customer testimonials, because those customers sign agreements with us, obviously we can't have that under a different company name. So it's bound, but it's not a big deal. It's just speaking to a piece of technology. It's got Boundless on it, but it's got mostly the customer information, the customer testimony, like that. So a little long-winded there, but yeah, so that's all.
That's good.
And these are just all
the materials that you have too, Pat. I really like the things I saw, things you sent to me. Are we allowed, since our logo is going to have, Limelight powered by Boundless, are we allowed to use some of your materials on our website to help build that out?
Yeah, and there's recommendation. Yeah, we've had people that have done that, so there's recommendations. I would get you with the marketing team to give some directions on how they want the brand being used. So just guidelines and whatnot.
Absolutely.
This is really important, and we're not talking about this, but if you make the trip down to Austin, I'm going to have you spend quite a bit of time with this group. This little rocket ship. It's called Mission Control. That's a department within Boundless. So big part of the value proposition with Boundless is the technology. And one of our big value points to customers is we can go to mid and large size customers and centralize their brand merchandise spend through the use of technology, right?
Right.
This team, you're going to have to, you don't need to know everything is what I'm trying to spit out. You need to be able to sell it and speak high level and intelligently about it. But when you have an opportunity with a client, you can engage with this team, Mission Control, and it's a fancy word for technology services.
Okay.
What they can do is get on the phone with you and the client, and they can go through the Q&A process with your client to diagnose, exactly what they're needing from a technology standpoint. Because a lot of it starts depending on how they're going to pay. So there's a tremendous amount of variables that even a high-level salesperson will go down a rat hole and get themselves in trouble on. So
Pat, is this, for example, I had a customer ask me if we could do basically a Land's End store for them. Is that what this is?
Yeah, that would be the team that would come in there, and you would have a webinar with them, and you'd say, hey, listen, I want you to set you up with our technology service team. It's called Mission Control. I'm going to talk to Wanza, Kenny, whoever it may be, Javier, and we're going to go through a Q&A and kind of figure out what's the best solution for you.
Perfect.
So this team can do, it's not just pigeonholed to our technology. If our technology isn't the right solution, that's not a big deal. There's other technology. We have licenses and other technologies that we can use if need be. So.
Okay.
And they've got skill sets in those areas as well. There also can be a service team too. So, for example, a lot of our folks don't like to set up a e-commerce store. We call them portal stores. That's the Boundless lingo, but it's an e-commerce store on their
Yeah.
portal. It's because it's a pain in the, you know what? It's data entry because it's garbage in, garbage out. If the stuff isn't, the pricing information, the product information isn't entered incorrectly, then it's garbage out. So this team will put together portals. You're going to have to portal stores with them. You'd have to be able to tell them what the heck you wanted, to pick out the pricing and so on. But they can do the data entry for that at a fee. But
Okay.
only, those are kind of the only ad hoc fees for stuff like that, if you need them to do that. Because it's a self-service. I can create a portal store if I want to.
Oh, that's perfect. I am happy to do it myself. I was actually looking at, if I hadn't been looking at Boundless, I've been toying around with making a Shopify store for one of my customers. So
Yeah.
the fact that you have the technology set up and I can just do it myself, honestly, it's like half the work that I expected that I was going to do anyway. So
Yeah, and the big win with anybody can have technology, but the big win about our technology, and again, I've said this a couple of times now, but mental note on is the big difference. Somebody came out and asked me, what's the difference between our technology and everybody else's technology that they can offer, whether it's ASI or, Bright Stores or whatever, is our technology, our customer-facing technology, our e-commerce stores, our portals are connected to our back office systems.
yeah. And I know the benefit of that. I really do.
That's the huge difference. So anyhow,
There's no triple entry.
yeah, exactly. So if you go down to Austin, I will have you spend quite a bit of time on this because
I'd really like to, Pat. At this point, I'd really like to, because very frankly, I called my 3 biggest customers and I said, I'm considering a change. Will you go with me? And one of them, my biggest customer right now, a university, said, we follow you, we like your service. I will tell you, one thing we're looking to do is drop our Land's End store. So if this other company that you're going to can support that, because I know right now you're too small for that, then that's a huge win for us.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And that's not, and I'm going to tell you one other thing that this department is used for quite often is it's what I call a capabilities meeting.
Okay.
If I'm meeting somebody and, you're going to do your merchandising and that part of it. But hey, listen, I've got Javier on the line here. Javier is going to walk you through just our technology that we provide every customer. And they would do a portal capabilities meeting just similar to what I'm going to do with you here shortly. But that's
Right.
how you can use this department. And I highly, highly encourage you to use them in the right settings for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
I'd like to see what they can do.
So other stuff, suppliers, information is all here. We talked about value. Culture. Culture's a little bit hard to do on a webinar, but
Yeah.
you'd get a sense when you got down there. But staying connected and, this kind of stuff is all accessible to you,
Yeah.
as far as contacting people with specialties and whatnot. We host a lot of that information here within the resources tab. But this is where you'd be quite a bit. HR stuff. This is just HR stuff.
I want to also confirm with you, Pat, all of my clients are my clients. They are not Boundless clients.
Yeah, you're not going to get a document from me that says non-compete and none of that stuff. When your accounts, they buy from you at the end of the day.
They do, yeah. So there's no non-compete. There's no Andrea left Boundless. Let's go after and try and reach out to. Okay.
No, I don't have and again, I don't want to sound like a snobby in any way, shape, or form here, but if somebody left, I don't have time to go around and try to track their business down. So anyhow, we do have and then I'll get off of this here, but supplier specials, I do have a supplier relations team that reports up to me. They do everything from all our events, but also manage the suppliers. So supplier specials, entering information on suppliers, all that stuff is stuff that they do. This icon just contains a bunch of specials. It's all right. It's just specials, but it's so much stuff there. It's kind of overwhelming. But they're working for the suppliers, and you'll see them running special campaigns. It's typically not on this forum, but there is a library of things that these guys are flooding us as far as specials and things that you can reference.
Excellent.
It's-
Do these things also automatically email to me? Like, I really do love getting supplier flyers.
Yeah, that's another important thing too. And I think we may have talked about this, we may have not, but we share our sales affiliate database with the suppliers.
Good.
It's kind of the good outweighs the bad. The bad is that you're going to be on every recruiting list that you can possibly imagine because this stuff gets passed along. Some supplier rep leaves and passes, they got that information, they pass it along to performer or whomever it may be. But the good is that, we request and require our preferred vendors to provide that information out to those suppliers, to all their regional reps, and and we want the regional reps to get credit for your sales. So Todd Turkwan, when he's
So
calling,
I met with yesterday, by the way.
so me and Todd go way back.
Do you?
Yeah, I've known that.
Don't tell him. Sorry. Don't say anything to Todd.
No, I never. I don't ever talk about, because this is
This is a very sensitive.
this is a confidential stuff. But I know I want Todd to get credit for it, right? So
I do too. That's important.
and that's a policy. Gets all those guys. You want them to get credit for those.
Yeah.
So anyhow, but you have problems or issues with the supplier. The supplier relations team is responsible then to, we want you to contact them and get with Todd or whoever the supplier is and says, hey, what the hell's going on? Type of thing. So anyhow. We got a supplier relations team that's accessible to you too.
Great.
I'm going to transition unless there's any other questions on the back office. And Sherry, by the way, I recorded this. Hopefully I recorded it. I think I did it right.
Yeah, it says recording. She actually stepped out for a second.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Pat. But
No.
I do have one more thing that I'd like to look at here.
Sure.
And I don't know if I mentioned, I usually don't. I hope I didn't, because then it sounds really rude and arrogant. I have an MBA, so I tend to come at things from that kind of analytical. My undergrad is business. I know there are a lot of people that fall into the promo business, and I fell into it too, for that matter.
Everybody falls into it. Unless you're born into it. Yeah.
Out. But I see it as a business. I happen to be friends with someone who places $1 million worth of orders.
Yep.
I see the business plans tab. Can we talk about that?
Absolutely. And I'm glad you have. So the business plan, so you can create a new business plan. She doesn't have one here, and she should.
Click on it. Can I see what that looks like?
Absolutely. So it's a template that we do, and I'll give you the method because I put this together, and everybody's got their own style, but this is kind of how.
Right now that you put this together.
how we mentally put it together. I like to reverse engineer. So what I mean by that is I'll kind of look forward and then work backwards.
Yeah.
So, you'll notice, to me, this isn't rocket science work, doing business planning. It's setting goals and then setting action items to achieve those goals. So this template here, you'll see it's the good ones use a business plan. And you'll put projections in here. As you can see, a current projection. This is quarterly, but we'll do 2 and 4 1 year plans. And these are high level plans here. This is the kind of the template of it. And then
more in depth than my current plan.
Yeah, the number, and then kind of we get into the weeds. You get anybody can set a goal. Then it comes down to, hey, how the hell are we going to get there?
Yeah.
So we try to analyze the current book of business. How many customers are you currently servicing? How many of them fit your 3-year goal? How many customers do you want to have 3 years from now?
Yeah.
We'll find a lot of our folks coming here that'll have, 30, 50, 60 accounts, and they're doing 5, 50, 600 grand a year, and they have in the sales range.
80-20 rule. Yeah.
Yeah. 500 to, hell, some of these guys, the biggest customer does 20 grand. And then they say in 3 years, they want to do $1 million. Which accounts are going to be part of that? Which accounts can get you to $1 million? And that's where the come to Jesus moment comes into play. Because holy shit, I don't know. Then, then you kind of get into strategy. I don't have any customers that can get me to $1 million. Okay. And we need to find some. So who are we going to target? What industry do you know well? No.
Will you provide that kind of coaching if we ever need it?
Oh yeah. I am here to help. I am here to help all of our folks in business planning. I have no problem in going through that process, and I encourage people to do it. I will tell you this though, it's if you want to do it, I'm up for it because I do it with others. But unfortunately, I've gone through this enough with a lot of, because they're independent contractors and they don't have to do anything really unless I make them do it. But
it's uncomfortable.
Unfortunately, most of them won't do it. They'll do it, but they won't execute on it.
Yeah.
That's because this is a reactionary business. Now you're getting me on a little bit of a sermon here, but you can go, we've set it up here where you can get quarterly goals, but we can also do goals we can also do this whole same template by customer. And that's really where I want to get you to go, right? So I want you, like Disney, for example. If you got Disney, I want to know, okay, let's take Disney. Let's isolate that alone. What's the goal? What's the action items we're going to achieve those goals? Q1, Q2, and Q3. What are they?
Yeah.
Are they prospecting? I'm working with Mary in HR, but I'm not know anybody in marketing. Can I get Mary to give me referrals? Well, how am I going to do that? That kind of stuff. So you lay out action items and you try to execute on them, and either they work or they don't work. When they don't, that's all right. You just scratch it off and try something else, right? Or if we're hitting our head against the wall and it is what it is, then at least you know that, and you move into another strategy. You find another strategy for a different type of account to get you where you want to be, $1 million or whatever it may be.
Yes.
So I'm long-winded, but hopefully some of that stuff made sense. There's a lot of
this is valuable.
So okay, good. All right. Anything else on the back office part that you'd want to kind of go through?
No, thank you. I'm
Okay.
good.
I'm going to find a portal and I'm going to log into a portal. So I'm going to find one of her buyers. And I'm just going to log in.
Pat, do you mind is there a way for me to, do you mind if I take 2 seconds while you're finding that portal?
Yeah, go right ahead. Absolutely.
Okay, I'm going to mute myself. I just haven't gone anywhere.
Okay, great.
Pat, I apologize for the pause. Charity has to go, but can we talk Austin really quickly before she goes, just in case she wants to make that trip with me, and then we'll get back on this?
Sure. What date are you thinking here?
Well, I mean, I feel like you guys are accommodating us. So really, what days can Austin accommodate us?
Good question. I'm going to have to, well, let me ask you this.
Yes.
Let's do quick round and really quick and then kind of quick.
Okay.
One thing, I'm out. I would want to be there with y'all.
Okay.
But I'm out the 27th. I'm out on a family vacay from the 21st to the 27th. So I'm out
Okay.
there. Does the 18th look 18th or 19th? Would that work for you? Or perhaps the week of the 29th?
The week of the 29th is much better for me. Charity, is that better for you?
Either one works.
Either one works. So on the 18th, I have that executive women leadership event that I could skip, but I really don't want to.
You don't worry about it. We can do it the following.
22nd, 26th, you're gone. And I also prefer to be back on the weekends.
Understood.
I like to be back before Friday midday. So
Okay.
I would prefer the 29th.
Let's focus on that week then. And any particular days, Wednesday, it doesn't, I'm irrelevant to that.
Earlier in the week is better for me. Is that okay for you? I say that because I am out of town for an EME from the 3rd through the 7th, from the 4th to the 7th. So I would prefer 29, 30, 31st, or 1st. I would.
29th, 30th, or 31st. Okay.
Yeah.
We could, let me confirm that. And then kind of what we would do, because you're West Coast, so you're not going to be able to get out there early, AM anyhow, you'd be coming in the afternoon. Do you mind leaving the evenings or early evening? Because we can knock it up. I can have you come in the afternoon. We get
We can do that.
early enough, we can knock some of it out in the afternoon, and then go through the day, and then have you out mid-afternoon the following day, or worst case scenario,
Perfect.
we do a whole day. So
That sounds perfect.
one overnight. So let me work on the 29th, 30th, or 31st, or just 29th and 30th.
I mean, those days, just that window of days. So you pick
Okay.
whether it's the 29th or the 30th. I like the 24 hours, just considering
Yep.
we've all busy people. Yeah, you tell me. I will keep it in mind that somewhere in the window of the 29th through the 1st.
Okay. You'll hear back from me by tomorrow morning on specifics on that. So we can
Perfect.
it out. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Do
So
we
then
want
I'll let you know what.
It was nice hearing from you, Pat. You have a nice
No, Joe, yeah. And we'll hopefully I've recorded this right and you'll have a good recording to listen to.
Awesome. Thank
Yeah.
you. I appreciate it.
No problem.
I don't know if she told you my daughter broke her hand. So
Ah.
I wanted to listen in, but we had
No, that's
in Waco, Texas that needed to get handled today. So
oh no worries. I get it. Believe me. I got 3 of them, so I can relate. 3 kids, that is.
Awesome,
okay,
awesome.
thank you. Have a good rest of your day.
Thanks. I'll call you later, okay? Thanks, bye. Oh, Pat, I'm sorry. 1 second.
Sure.
Sorry, 1 second. Aww.
The balloon with the polka dots is to my heart. Okay, sorry.
No problem.
I've got an awesome person, and that was one of the things that I told Stephanie. I was like, you know what? Charity is just kick butt. I think if you like me, you'll like her, and she's a keeper. So
No, yeah, good support people are really, I mean, they're hard to get. So
they are.
good for you.
Thank you.
So here's a buyer portal. What I did is I went on to Boundless Apps. I typed in their name and I logged in on their portal. I just click a button and it takes me to
So this is the customer. So Lisa Galan. Okay, Lisa's who we were just. No,
Lisa's you, and Paula here is Charity. So and her support person. The account is Burns and McDonald. The buyer
Right.
we're logged in on is Bree. Bree.
Okay.
Okay.
So Bree F is a buyer at Burns McDonnell.
Bree F is a buyer within Burns and McDonald. I don't know Bree from Adam, but Bree's
Yeah.
a buyer at Burns and McDonald. So this is a portal. This is a souped up portal. And I'll tell you what a souped up portal is in a second. But I want to make it really clear. Every one of your buyers, every buyer that purchases from you will have their own portal website that can,
Whether or not they choose to use it.
whether they choose to use it or not choose to use it. They will use it, and I'll explain why here in a second, regardless. But everyone who buys from you, the system automatically creates a portal. They'll get an information piece saying, hey, listen, thank you for the order. You're Boundless proprietary customer, blah, blah, blah. And they'll have this portal. On the portal site, every portal site, even though this is souped up, the one that we're looking at, every portal site has three features. One, the ability to go online and check order status 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So to get to see where the order is, when it's scheduled to ship, where it is in the production life cycle, and if it's shipped, what's the tracking information and whatnot. So tracking is the first thing that every portal has, whether it's souped up or not. The second thing that every portal has is reporting. Buyer can come on here and enter whatever dates they want, and that will, when they can then run a report that can be converted into an Excel or XML or whatever, and that will list all the orders that they placed and then a sum total of their spend. So they can run reporting. They can place reorders off that reporting. They can see copies of invoices and so on. So reporting is the second thing.
Gotcha.
The third thing is they can do a general product search, just like you can on any website. So if I type in tumblers here, I can look at Tumblr. It'll pull up tumblers. There's a database of 30,000 products in here, and up will appear some tumblers. The souped up versions, one we're kind of going to be looking at, has all the three things I mentioned. The only thing additional that it has is it has e-commerce capabilities. So Lisa
So
went
they
in.
can buy online versus just send me an email saying, "Hey, I want to get 300 of."
Yep, it's a company store. It's a pre-approved items that have the logos on there that they can click a button and buy. So that's what that and I'm going to show you each one of those things here now. I'll walk you through it visually here. So let's just start off with order status. So Bree here, the one we're logged in on, if she's want to see where her orders, she's got in-process orders, even completed orders. I'm going to click on in-process orders. Hopefully she'll have one. So these are in-process orders. So she's got actually 7 orders that are currently in process, and she's got 1 actually pending order. Now this pending order is an e-commerce store, and I'm actually glad this is here. So this is an order that this Bree went online to the e-commerce store, and she's bought this. And what Lisa then does is she receives an alert. And Lisa, we give everybody the opportunity to view these orders and then approve them. And then once they're approved, it goes directly into the system and the orders then processed.
So I don't have to do a damn thing. There's no estimate for me to type up. There's no.
No, on an e-commerce store, you don't. All you have to, we have you put your eyes on it, but all you do is hit the approval button. So
Cool.
we received an email on this item that she has this order. So then she clicks it and it goes into the system and we process it. These are in-process orders. These could be e-commerce stores. These could be just regular called up Lisa and place an order.
Got it.
Be all the above.
Okay.
These are, if I'm Bree again at the buyer from Burns and McDonnell, and let's say, I don't know, I want to know where the heck this product is because I'm sitting at a trade show in Omaha, Nebraska, whatever. I can come in here and it'll take me to the order detail. And you'll see it's in green here is where the order currently is. It's been invoiced. It hasn't been paid. It's been invoiced. But I can come here and listed below here is the tracking information. If I click on this, it'll take me to UPS in this case, or FedEx, or wherever it may be, and it'll give me the relevant information as far as when it was, who signed for it, what time, and whatnot. So she can come in here at any point in time, that being Bree, and have access to that information, just like if you were an Amazon member or something to that effect, or Prime member, excuse me. You can also place a reorder if you want. Now, I'm live online, so there's only so far I can go, because,
Yeah.
but if I go reorder, there's a reorder request, and there's information. I type whatever information that goes directly to Lisa.
So she doesn't have an opportunity to confirm her pricing or anything with her reorder request?
No, she does, because it's a reorder. And that's the thing. That's why we have these guys put their eyes on it. Because if I hit reorder, okay, I'm coming in here as Bree as the buyer, so I want to buy more of these things, USBs.
Yeah, but she ordered it last year and the price has gone up now. So,
Exactly, and that's why it goes over to her. Or buyers, as you know, are famous for, hey, I want to reorder these, but I need it to have XYZ more memory.
Yeah.
That's a whole different item, right? So or I need this copy on it, or 2-color, or 3-color, and they're famous for that. And that's why we have this feature goes directly to you. It doesn't go directly into the system as an order. It goes over to you. And by the way, just if you're wondering, because this is appearing right here, I've logged in as Bree.
Yeah.
MBA, you understand this, but it says you haven't logged into your via your procurement system. We have an ERP integration with Burns and McDonnell. So we're at the procurement software package. It's Oracle.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We also do, and that's we're one of the rare companies that are able to do that. And that goes back to that mission control department. That's how we get sticky with these guys. And candidly, that's why Lisa won this account, because we were able to do an integration with their ERP system.
Okay.
So, because it brings down their cost per transaction from $75 to whatever it may be, half of that. So that's a big deal for these guys. So typically they have to log into Oracle, and then in there they can click on their portal site, and that's how they get access to their portal site with this particular client. So, sense?
Can we see, let's say Bree wants to look up a notebook. She wants to order a notebook.
Sure.
So, and she doesn't have, I kind of also wonder too, what if it's not, the functionality is the same. Everything is the same, except that Bree can order through here and other people can't, right?
Correct. But Bree can do two things. She can order, or she can, no, there's 772 that showed up. So let me just type in Yeti for a second.
Okay.
Is that and the reason I'm doing that, just so we don't have.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So what I'm trying to see is, let's say I'm Jane and I'm not at Burns McDonnell. I've just got a very regular account because my company only purchases $20,000 a year. Okay. So I log in and I see the engraved black Yeti 30-ounce Rambler tumbler, custom logo, imprint 1 location. I want to buy 10 of those, but I can't purchase through your e-commerce portal because I don't have the souped up version.
Correct.
What do I see? What do I get?
Okay, so and hang in there with me, because I was hoping this wouldn't happen, but I typed in Yeti. Mm-hmm. Thing that populates is all the items that are Yetis, and she's got a lot of them here. It looks like.
It's just any one of them, right?
That are on the e-commerce store, but they all have Burns and McDonnell. Then these all can be bought at a click of a button. So to answer your question, let's pretend here now that I didn't see what I just saw right there.
Okay.
So the thing that would pop up is this right here.
Okay, so I'm sorry, Pat, if I may confirm then, I get to choose as the affiliate what products they can purchase immediately online.
Correct. You pick and choose. It's an e-commerce store. You choose what items that are, because those are items that you more than likely worked with that marketing manager and identified as brand approved items.
Yes, exactly.
These guys to prove. But again, pretend that, again, this is a buyer, but you don't have an e-commerce store. They would see something like this right here. So I'll put a series of Yetis. I can sort them by price. I can do all those kind of things. But I'm interested in this one, let's say.
Yep.
I can't buy this. Okay?
Right.
but I got a visual on it, description on it, and I've got pricing. So this
Yeah.
is straight out of ESP or whatever. So I,
It's straight out of ESP, so it's not, ooh, okay.
yeah. So I
That's
type,
not necessarily a good thing because I don't want to sell only one of them. I don't want my customer to see that I'm even physically capable of only selling one of them.
oh, yeah, I mean, what do you mean? Explain, I mean, I'm sorry. Help.
Sorry. So right there, quantity and pricing to the left of your mouse,
Yep.
it says quantity minimum of 1.
Yep.
Even when we can sell just one, I would never tell my customer I can sell you just one.
Yeah, I'm really surprised they would sell one.
Yeah.
Honestly.
So my point is that if this is pulling directly from ESP, then I'm basically telling them I can do just one.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. Like I've got a few items like some pens, etc., that I use Gold Star for. Gold Star's minimum is 150. I tell my clients because I don't want to take orders that net less than 2. I tell them that the minimum is 250. So that way we net at least 2.
Yeah. I know we can enter we can adjust the margins, make it higher or lower.
Can we have only the e-commerce store and not this other side of it? Is that an
Yeah,
option?
yeah, you can pull that out if you want. But what you may miss out on is just like, because what these guys will, when I say these guys, and a sales affiliate will get is that depending on your buyer base, a lot of these folks are younger and more intuitive, so they'll just go on here, they'll find product, and they'll say get a quote.
Right.
That goes directly to you. So these guys will get a quote alerts in their
Yeah.
email.
I get emails right now from my buyers where they send me links from our current store. So I see the value in this. I do. It's just that I'd like to be able, and maybe this is like a future thing for your mission control department to like take a look into in the tech side is.
No, I think that's, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
We'll say
I'd like as an affiliate to be able to say, do not allow my customers to try and buy any orders less than $500. Do not allow them to try.
Yep. Yeah. No. And I think that's and I think that's I mean that's good feedback. I haven't heard it that positioned that way, but I don't disagree with it.
Yeah, I mean, from a standpoint too, you guys are doing a ton of work for $47. What's the net? Like nobody.
No, we don't make any. We don't make any money on one piece. I'm actually.
That's my point. Nobody does. It's a headache.
I'm surprised because it's so rare that I see one on here. I'm kind of shocked.
I mean, even if you did if you looked up the Gold Star Bowie pen, like it doesn't have to be a one-piece order. It could be just an order for if you've got 100 pens and they're $1 each. You still want that order. I would like as a rep, as a salesperson, to be able to say my customer cannot place. Okay, so at least this vacuum tumbler is a $400 order. At least that's not terrible. There's some money to make, not a lot. But I would like to be able to tell the system, do not show quantities when the quantity times the price is less than $500.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. Yeah, because it's $500 is when we start kind of breaking even, candidly.
Exactly. No, I agree. That's why I say $500 because then at least I've got a goodwill situation. Something can come out of it.
I'm surprised Yeti sells one piece at a time, but anyhow. Yeah. I mean, regardless. I mean, if we could adjust it, maybe it'd be more applicable to, you'd feel more comfortable with it. But
I would. I don't really want to show this to my customers as is because I know some of my customers will say, I can buy just 11. I will buy just 11. When if they're sending me hey, Andrea, can you look for this? I will tell them the minimum quantity is 24. You can't purchase less than 24. And I actually do that. I sometimes say, sorry, the t-shirt mill will not sell us less than 24 t-shirts at a time. So you have to purchase 24. I get that you only want 17, but they won't sell me 17.
Yeah. No, I think that's boy, you're music to you'd be music to my CFO's ears, I can tell you that.
I wait till he hears my margin.
But the other, well, let's then transition to the e-commerce store here. So you can get there a multitude of different ways. Here, store categories.
Or just search, whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or-
it's
or-
Amazon.
Yeah, or you go lifestyle shots here below. But
Love it.
so yeah, so all this is here. Your accessible. It's
And this is all boundless proprietary?
yeah. This is all boundless proprietary. So I just clicked a.
This is thoughtful.
So I'll click on Under Armour shirt here. So she's again, when it's e-commerce, the salesperson sets the minimums. They set the pricing. All that stuff is here. So you've got a visual of the product. Again, I'm live online, so I'm only going to take it so far. So I'm going to go 100 here. You select a color,
But this is exactly my Land's End store that we're trying to replace. And especially with Alpha Broder, they will decorate just one. So if I'm choosing all my garments from Alpha Broder and they're a tier 1 supplier for you on your list, this is the tech I've been looking for.
Yeah. And
How much does the e-commerce store cost me as an affiliate?
it doesn't cost you anything.
Shut your mouth.
It's just part. It's part of.
This is what my 40% is paying for.
Yeah. So this is part. It's part of the. It's. There's no charges. The portal. No, there's no charges for this stuff, and that's I mentioned that loosely because you want to use that as a selling point when you're talking to your customer. So
they can order their one piece, and if I'm ordering from Alpha Broder because they don't charge, they allow. Sorry, I'm just repeating what I hear you've already said because I'm in awe.
Well, we've got a special relationship with a client, with a technology provider that we've integrated with. It's called FAST.
Mm-hmm.
And FAST enables us to do. It's a software. There's about I don't know how many suppliers that are in the network, but they'll do up to one. They'll do 1 unit decoration on embroidery in this case. Screen printing, there's a minimum, but they're going to start to be able to do digital at 1 piece minimum. But it's all integrated, so you can the portfolio of offerings include anything from SAMR, anything from Alpha Broder, and you can buy minimum quantities of 1 and get them embroidered.
What about product? So obviously we're not going to do just 2 CAD folios. Can you guys handle warehousing in Kansas City for that fulfillment?
In fact, this particular program is part of this program is inventory. Actually,
okay.
The client owns the inventory. So,
is it always client-owned inventory?
I
always prefer that. I've been on the burn side of not being that way, so I know why we want that.
Well, short answer is not always. Okay. And I'll give you an example. If it's a uniform program,
right,
high turnover, high order volume, and the inventory turns and burns all the time,
mm-hmm.
it may make sense for us to own it. The other scenario is what I just described to you, that made to order scenario that we have with the like SCI, which is the largest funeral home conglomerate in the country. You got a bunch of them in your neck of the woods, but we do everything is through this FAST, this technology here that we're using, where again they're due minimum 1s, but all their shirts are embroidered, right?
Yeah.
And excuse me, I'm working out of home today because I missed my flight, so you may hear some dogs.
Oh, I apologize. That's not fun.
Barking in the bed. Oh yeah, don't you love it? So that's, that it can be made to order, or it can be customer owned. So, yeah. But what's kind of cool here, and I just kind of wanted to point this out, because this particular one this isn't warehouse. You'll notice though the logo choice here. So this is what we call a logo locker. So the buyer here, the recipient, come in here and pick out whatever logo they're looking for, and then move forward with checkout accordingly. So
this is fantastic.
So, but yeah, so this is now I'm going to tell, but like I mentioned to you earlier, garbage in, garbage out, right? So you and Charity want to put, I highly encourage, I don't encourage you to do a store for Billy Bob's Radiator Shop.
God, no, there's only one company I want to do a store for at this moment.
Yeah, but folks that make sense, This is a big
They
win.
purchase over $100,000 a year, and they have Land's End. They buy over $100,000 from me, and they have Land's End. So
That scenario is a big win. So
that is. So we will get rid of Land's End, and we'll get all of their business. Is with
Yeah.
the e-commerce store. That's the only client at this moment that I think I want to do that for. Okay. So
So
there's
I'm
no
gonna-
charge to have the e-commerce store, and we
Yeah.
can get inventory.
So this
later.
is just a checkout process. So I mean, I can't go too much farther here, but just
No, I think you're good. I use
So-
Amazon. We're good.
yeah. So you're good on that one, and I just screwed up here.
Oh no.
I'll be back. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's, and then you have different categories here. Client, however you want to set up your store, you can set it up. So,
This is exciting.
yeah. The other thing is idea books. And again, not to get in the weeds, but you've worked on Pinterest more than likely. It's the same concept where you're shopping images, buyer can collect them and do that stuff. So yeah, so this is a portal. This is what this bad boy looks like. So again, order status, reporting, shopping, that's standard, right? You can shut off the standard if you want and go e-commerce. But yeah, that's what it looks like. And then the ERP integrations, all that little tweak, bells and whistles and tweaks, those are things that Michigan Scroll can work with your client to, put together, if it makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. This is really exciting stuff, Pat.
No, this is cool. This is cool stuff. And now what I want you to think of though here too is just not, think of your existing accounts and obviously the Land's End type of account, but you also got to start thinking about, what type of accounts you want to go after and
Yeah.
who do you want to talk to in those organizations? Because one thing I find, and you may not be like this at all, but a lot of folks in this industry, even really, really good folks, are very comfortable with talking to buyers. And buyers could be admin, it could be, marketing Joe Schmo. But what this technology enables you to do and pitching the portal and whatnot, the audience that you want to speak the value to is to managers, people who budgets, people who own sales numbers, people who own ROIs. So that's where you want to go. That's who's going to really care about this. Now, Jean Norton at San Diego County Credit Union, because she's all over the computer and is a buyer over there. She gets it. She loves this thing, right? She's a buyer, but a lot of these guys don't care, right? They just want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Just a buyer. But you want to go after accounts. You want to go after companies that have multiple buyers of promotional that are buying promotional products, and you want to centralize that.
Yeah.
All those guys are buying from you. You're not worried John gets fired because somebody else comes in, right?
Right.
You want to get the whole damn thing.
Perfect for my universities.
Yep. Universities, again, and it's not an industry, it's not universities, it's any company that has multiple buyers of branded merchandise.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying the individual one won't like this, because there will be some that will really like it and others that could give a crap about it.
Yeah.
And then they're going to come here all the time, regardless. And the reason I say that is, remember when I mentioned that T-shirt example we were talking through at the beginning here, when we send out an order acknowledgement and scheduled ship date, and also when we send out an email communication, hey, your order is shipped, click on the link to get your tracking information. It takes them to the portal here. So it takes them to that order, and it takes them to their portal. So they will be here. And this will provide them the basic shipping status information. But we want to get them over here and doing shopping.
Okay. I'd like at some point in the future, if we go forward, for us to have a longer conversation, Pat, of how do I pitch this to management? I would love to be able to do that.
We've even got recordings of it. I've done actually pitches.
You're Leslie.
And Lessonly, or I've recorded customer conversations.
Nice.
Yeah, so we do that. I mean, all that stuff. And my style is going to be different than your style because everybody's got a unique style.
Yeah.
But if you can pick up a few things,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that's all
I'm
you.
really impressed by the support that you have.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just again, it's just kind of it's developing your own style and then knowing what levers to push. But it's also identifying your target market. That's where it really starts. Who do I want to go after, and how am I going to pitch it to them?
I'll be honest right now, Pat. I'm kind of irritated that we're going to wait till the 29th for me to come out.
I'm
I
so
want to start like showing this off right now. I mean, I can't. The other side of it too. Well, let's finish this, and then I want to tell you where I am. Kind of. Am I?
okay. What else do I want to show you? Let me log in on here. There's one other thing I think it's worth me sharing, showing you, and is I'm going to log in as a portal to it. I'm going to find a demo site here in a second. I'm going to show you a group buy real quick.
Okay.
We talked about that.
We did.
I'll show you a demo site that's in works. Okay. Let's see if this has it. And I'll probably I'll send you this demo site after the call. This log information
Okay.
on there and play around the portal that you just saw in the group by too. All right. Are you seeing Box It up here?
I am.
Okay. So this is a demo website. This lady up here actually, Wanza Madrid. She's the she's the VP of technology, the mission control department. So she's great. You'd be working with her on opportunities. But so Wanza here created this demo site, and I'm going to show you a group buy. This is a demo site again, but the group buy is nothing more than an online purchase order that's sent.
Like lightning deals. Okay.
Yeah, it's sent out via link to a bunch of buyers, and then they all buy all at once. So,
Okay. So is this across all of Boundless, or is it just, hey, Wanza, I want to get out a group buy to my customers. Can we set one up, please?
yeah, you want to do if you're going to do it. If you're going to do it to all your customers, that's different companies, different logos, right?
Right.
The key to doing that, you can do that, but the key is it's got to be simple, right? One price, or no set one die charge or whatever the heck it is. It's got to be simple. It can't be because you're based on color imprint. So something like laser engraving or something like that may be something that you would do what I would call a universal group buy to a bunch of people with different companies, different logos. More than likely, there'll be something like this where they're one particular company, and it's one logo, and it's going out to a bunch of buyers. So I'll kind of just show you this. This is, and I'll walk you through this scenario. So you would work with somebody within Box It, a marketing department person, identify products that they want to feature. Let's say you identified these 4 products. And then you would create a group by template, which we're looking at right here. So this group by template would be completed. It would have products. It would have pricing. And then you would provide that link, at least I would recommend you to, provide that link to your buyer, your marketing manager at the company, so that they can send it out to all the buyers, because you'll get a lot more buy-in that way, and a lot more orders. And what this does is this purchase order goes out to all these folks. They place their orders over a time period. That group buy campaign ends. We aggregate all those orders together. It increases the volume, drives down the price, and then we ship out to the clients.
Okay.
I'll kind of walk you. We'll kind of show you what that looks like as from a buyer's perspective. So again, I'm a buyer. I get this. I get an explanation what a group buy is. I come in here and I say I'm interested in these tumblers. This basically takes that purchase order template. So I got a visual on the product. The list price is $44. It's $26.44. That's just us kind of manipulating the numbers because there's been 163 have been ordered thus far. So the price has gone down from what it was originally at to
Right.
what it is now. So I come in here and I say I want to order 200. I add the cart. When I do that, the price bracket was here. Now it goes up to here because I've added to the order of 166. Right?
Okay.
I've added 200. And then I continue to go shopping and buy more items, or I can check out. And then if I decide to check out, this kind of takes you through the payment process, but I can, in this case, it's invoice or credit card. I've got my name and contact information in here because it's already in the system. If not, they have the capability of typing that in there. The credit number, I can enter that information, and I'm done. I check out, and I'm off to the races.
Are group buys always credit card buys?
No, it can be invoiced. I mean, it can be invoiced. It can be one summary invoice. But at the end of the day, what will happen, however, regardless how it's paid, the manager will receive a list of all the people that participate in the group buy, the quantity that they purchased, how much they would have paid, and then how much they ended up saving. So when I bought this, for example, this guy who bought 166, when he bought this, the price was $35, let's say.
Right.
Now it's 25. He bought it. He checked out. At the end of the campaign, he'll get an email that'll say, "Hey, Pat Barry, you bought 12 tumblers at $35. It cost X. The group buy ended up to be exceeding 500 units. The unit cost is $25. You will be invoiced X, Y." So this is a real powerful tool again to drive that aggregate spend. It's a great song to sing to any company that has any procurement manager, any manager. Procurement loves it because they save money. Marketing,
I do sell group buys.
yeah, they love that stuff.
Yeah.
Give you a secret about.
I set when it closes. Is that correct?
Correct. When it closes. So every group buy has an expiration time period. So what is this one here? So group buy ends July 26. Now, typically it's not as long as that, right? It's typically a week, maybe even as short as 24 hours.
Oh, no. So I make this work for me, for example, in my current situation. I think I told you last time about an umbrella order that took a little bit of time to get together because we needed people to meet the order. And albeit this time it was more of a minimum quantity situation. It wasn't the exact same thing. But sometimes, for example, journals, and we're already exceeding, one person alone is exceeding the minimum quantity, but they want to drive that price down.
Yep.
So I'd love to be able to set up this group buy for those journals and say, hey, why don't you talk to your colleagues and see who's in?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, that's a scenario you could play out. I'll give you another real life scenario. One of our folks had a 10,000 piece USB drive order, and the price is over at that. Well, this is before tariffs, but it was a hell of a lot less expensive doing it directly overseas. And then he did a universal group buy because it's etching, to all his other customers. And he took that 10,000 piece order and made I think he ended up right around 25 or 30,000 units because he got minimum quantities from the supplier overseas based on different logos. And he was able to do group buy, increase that order from 10,000 to 30,000. The win for those guys, obviously, is they benefited from overseas pricing. So, so there's all kinds of different ways you can spin it. Group buys, again, the best way group buys are done, the most successful group buys are done when a marketing manager or somebody already sends it out.
Yeah.
The other thing you got to remember too is more than likely you're not going to hit the home run the first time because it's something new, right?
Yeah.
The more times you do it, doubles turn into triples, and triples turn into home runs. It's just it's something. It's a buying pattern or a buying habit. Once you identify the buyer base, it can be a great tool for the right account. So,
Right.
and it's a great, and I can't emphasize this enough. When you're meeting a client for the first time and somebody says, "Hey, what makes you?" To your question, what the hell makes you different than everybody else?
Yeah.
You can tell. That's the story you can tell. That's a story you can tell.
Yeah.
Oh.
But that's what we're here for. That is amazing.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's that, and I'm going to send you this because we went through this technology. I know it's kind of, and I don't care if you even show it to clients if you get comfortable with it, but just play around with this.
Yeah.
Send you this demo site, and you and Charity can play around with it. I'll send you in the login information.
Lovely.
So, all right. So that's all I got here.
Two things for you. One, I'd like to see how ESP integrates into your site. I think that's more on your back end. But Stephanie said that you guys have a really robust, like souped up version of ESP. And that's really what I use for my primary and presentations and everything. So I'd like to see, what does that look like for you guys?
Yeah, let me log back in as a sales affiliate.
Okay.
And I'm going to be really candid with you. I'm not an expert on this part of it, but
Okay.
I know enough to be damn dangerous. So you may have to bear with me a little bit. But if you want to get more real granular, I may have to get somebody else to walk you through that.
Okay.
Like I said, I can be pretty dangerous on this. At least I think I can be. This is actually fun. I haven't done one of these in such a long time.
I mean, we can also table this and revisit it. Maybe somebody else.
No, I'll get it. I won't be too long-winded here. So I'm just gonna.
That's okay. I just want to see what it looks like because, I've been using ESP for almost 10 years now. And not almost, for 10 years now, I've been using ESP. And I've struggled with some small things, like when we talked about using the portal, the fact that ESP shows you can buy just one Yeti tumbler. And so I spend a lot of time manually adjusting minimum quantities, manually adjusting. I mean, I know in ESP I can change my profit margin for every product or for just one product to whatever I want it to be, whatever percentage. But sometimes I don't want that. Sometimes I want to look at the product and I say, ooh, I know she'll pay $3 more for this. Let me up the margin on the minimum quantity, and then the rest of it, I'll leave them alone. And so all of those things are manually done, and they're time consuming. I sometimes spend an hour and a half on a single ESP product. So,
yeah. So let me show you what we've got. So I'm going to go in as Bree again here.
okay.
My screen here.
So Bree is a purchaser?
Yeah, Bree is that buyer from
Okay.
Burns
McDonald. Okay.
McDonald. Yep. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do a little.
But are you logged in as Bree or are you logged in as Lisa right now?
No, I'm logged in as Lisa. I'm on Boundless Apps. So what you're looking.
Okay. That's
what I did is I typed in Bree Farmer and she pulled up here. So, so I'm gonna do some Boundless lingo here, but projects. I don't know why we call it projects, but it's really proposals, right?
I call them projects too, actually.
Yeah. Do you? Okay. So So then you fit right in. I'm the only guy. I got proposals in my head. So
I hate the word jobs. Right in QuickBooks, which is what we use right now, they're called jobs, and I hate that. I call them projects.
yeah. So projects. So I just clicked on projects, and it takes me to the ESP part of it, and then that much more. So these are all.
You looked up your client's name, and then there was the projects tab, right? That's what you did.
Projects tab, and these are all projects that Lisa has sent to Bree.
Okay.
Blue Cross. I mean, or these are projects that she's created. I shouldn't say they're just for Bree. But these are all projects and proposals that she's created. But I'm assuming you want to kind of look through
Yeah.
products.
So how do you even get to your ESP firstly?
Oh, you just go in there and click on the salesperson's. Actually, I'm going to do that right now.
But if you're going to the portal, are you logging in as
See
Lisa?
this link, this link, I could get it through the port. I could get it through Boundless Apps, or I'm going to do it now this way here.
Okay.
Just log in as the customer, or I can just click on a link and get in there too. That you'll put it on your more than likely you'll put it on your obviously on your favorites or whatever. So you can just click the link and
Yeah.
get on there. Oh shoot.
I had a great chat with Stephanie Wheeler a couple days ago.
Oh, did you? Yeah, Stephanie knows her. Stephanie's good people.
Yeah.
And Stephanie's a big, I mean, she is, you know, like you mentioned, culture and sharing best practice. Everybody's different, you know, how much they want to do of that. But she really likes to be sharing and networking and whatnot. So she's great, good folk.
Good.
Trying to remember her password. I'm not remembering her password.
And for 2 seconds, I'm going to go take a quick call. I'll be right back.
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you, by the way, for being available for 2 hours.
Yeah, no worries.
Above and beyond what I expected. I'm sorry you missed your flight, but at least you get to work from home. That is a perk.
Oh no, I mean, yeah, actually I was supposed to be at the Chicago ASI show today, but I ended up sleeping in Houston. So it was a long story, but fun.
I'm sorry.
Fun.
Yay.
Let me see here. I'm still. Why is that not letting me do that? Okay. All right, let me try one more thing here.
Okay. It really is
Okay.
that next week.
I got there. I forgot all the I forgot the password. So that's her password because I'm logged in as an affiliate. I'm actually logged in as Stephanie here right now. So,
Okay.
yeah. So I mean, you can. I'll do the best I can here, but you know.
You're just click around.
Yeah, we'll click
You'll know
around
when I
here.
see
So
it.
if I'm doing a product search,
Mhm.
it'll ask me projects, and again, that's proposals. So I click on, projects. I can type in, whatever. I typed in anything you want to look for here in particular. I had koozies typed in here.
No, I want to make a project. So Koozies is great. Let's make a project.
All right. So
Now, do you guys sort by your tier 1 suppliers automatically?
you can source by tier 1 or ASI rating, or you can just have a general search as well.
Okay.
But
Do you guys block any suppliers?
do not use ones we do. But there's only a handful of DNUs.
But you do.
Yeah, I mean, if there's going to be some, and usually there's a reason, right?
Yeah. No, I'm just curious.
Yeah, but yeah, a handful we do, but you can filter. I would assume. Well, this is probably a customized filter based on Boundless, but you can filter by tier 1, tier 2, all.
Uh-huh.
You can exclude. You can sort by price. This may look familiar with you on ESP. I don't know if it does or doesn't.
No, it's actually totally different.
Okay. But this is kind of gives you the filtering capability. Looks like category, color, and whatnot.
So can we just choose like 2 koozies and make a
Sure. Yeah, let me go back here. And bear with me because this is not my expertise on this one. So let's pick out
No worries.
this one. All right. So I'm assuming here, you get a description here. It goes, I think it's add. I don't know what add to the queue means, but let's go add. And I may have already screwed it up here, by the way. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this for you because I've never created a project, quite honestly. Let's see again. See, I don't know what this means right here. Choose an active project, idea book, or group by landing page. See, I'm logged into Stephanie's here, so I don't know how she's got this thing set up. I'm going to have to walk you through that or send you a lesson, Lee, on that one, candidly, because I'm just going to confuse the hell out of you. Quite
Okay.
And my apologies. But what I can show you, I think you'd find kind of cool on this thing, is if I click on analytics, this is that, I may have said this to you the other day, this is kind of that creepy factor a little bit. It's all your customers and who's been on their portal. You can enter whatever date range you've got. Stephanie's got it set at 30 days. But it'll tell you who's been on the portal, what they've looked at. So
Okay.
a minute ago, somebody from Hologic actually checked out and bought something. So if I click on it, I can see what they did and what they bought. So alert on this anyhow. But my point being is you can be big brother here and really see.
There's a lot of value in data.
Yeah, who's on their portal and who's not on their portal. So it just gives you access to that type of information. So,
Can you click on a project for me? Can I see a project?
Yeah, let's look at a project here. So these are projects that have been created by account. So let's Cynosure. Let's look at this one. Looks like she created one for computer decals for Christine Conte.
I like that you can separate out what each buyer is looking for, though. That's kind of helpful.
Where's that thing? Oh, am I creating one?
There's 0 items in it. Let's look at maybe not Jennifer DuPont, but one with like.
Yeah, let's see. How about this one? Backdrops 2. Look, there's 2 items in this one. Let's see what that looks like. So what I do know, now this is just her visual of this, but when she sends this, she can send this in a PowerPoint template. It's a professional looking template. But
that's what I'd like to see. What does the customer see?
Yeah, let me see here if we can find one. Let's go back to scripts here and see if I got.
Sorry, Pat. I should have warned you that this was something I was really interested in.
No, no worries. This is just not in my wheelhouse, this part of it. And candidly, it's because I haven't spent the time to do it because I don't do this, but do it.
Yeah,
Um,
that's fair.
let's see what we got here. Let's see if this one, golly. Graded, updated.
I wonder what's all the way at the bottom of the page too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I'm not getting that. No. Let me see here. Hold on. Just bear with me for a second. Project create.
Ooh,
Yeah. Let's see what this looks like. So I can create
what
it.
does the PowerPoint look like, or the PDF, or both?
Yeah. Let's just start from the top to bottom here. Let's see what we.
Yeah.
All right, so export into a PowerPoint.
Yep.
What it is. So again, you.
No, click that. Click Export to PowerPoint. This looks familiar to what I usually see. The point is that ESP is ugly. So sometimes I spend a good amount of time, just thinking about why Boundless. It's to cut out all the wasted time, right? And I spend a good amount of time fixing my ESP presentations. So I'd love to see what does the Boundless integration add to it, and how will that cut out wasted time or unnecessary time?
Well, let me tell you, I hope she didn't send it. She didn't send it looking like this because it's. Well, maybe she didn't do it in a PowerPoint, but.
I don't think she sent it like this.
Yeah,
Or
I doubt
don't
it.
see your
She's gonna send.
PowerPoint.
I doubt it.
Is your PowerPoint up?
Yeah, this is the PowerPoint here.
No, I can't see your PowerPoint. I'm still seeing
Oh,
the
you
back.
can't? Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on for a second.
That's okay.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. So let me from the beginning. She may have converted this to a PDF. Let me see here from the beginning. Now you have the ability to edit any of this stuff. I know that too. Inside here, but it's certainly not. She may have. I don't know if Steph uses the PowerPoint or she uses PDFs. It makes me wonder if she used PDFs based on what this looks like because it automatically downloaded.
I imagine the PDF would look similar though.
It may be, unless she never sent it for whatever reason too.
Or if you use the link, because I saw there was a link feature.
Yeah, she wouldn't miss this.
She's doing 2.8 million. She's not sending this.
Yeah, no, she's not doing that. Well, enable editing.
What does the PDF look like? Maybe we could look at that.
Yeah, let me go that route here. And I'll take you off because it takes me off on all the time when I do. Bear with that. Let me go back and I'll take you to the PDF here. All right, create PDF. Download PDF. All right, let me take you here so you can see what I'm doing. All right, so I'm back here at downloading it into a PDF. This looks more like she sent it this way. She's got a custom note here. She's got the logo scripts on the upper right-hand corner.
Okay.
So I'm gonna let download it into Polygon. All right.
So I guess what I'm trying to figure out too is is there a way to edit all of the pricing at once? Is there a way to I don't know.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just the wrong person to do this part of it for you here.
That's okay.
not an expert in this. That being said, I know people who are, who can. So I think we'd have to table this. This would table that for that type of discussion.
Mhm.
It's just-
Or if you could check, Pat, if there's a Learnly for, is that the right, it's Learnly, right?
no, it's Lessonly. The only problem, yeah, that may be an avenue.
There's a Lessonly for making a presentation. I'd really love to see that.
Yeah, no problem. I can do that.
Cool.
Well, I will find you that. Okay, so what was your second question now that I took
Okay.
15 minutes to tell you I don't know what the hell I'm doing on?
No, but I wanted to see what you guys could do, and this is pretty huge. This is a really cool integration because I think that ESP, as it is for just a regular ASI company, it's very, let's just say I would never use the word robust.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it.
So my second thing was to kind of just, I wanted to let you know, I'm sure you can tell I'm a direct person, and with that comes transparency. I just don't like it when people waste my time. I don't want to waste anybody else's time.
No, I get it. Believe me, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, we've all got better things to do, naps to take, vacations, books to read. So I wanted to just kind of let you know where I am right now. It's just where I am in my process, and see if, do you have questions for me? Is there information that you are concerned about? Do you need information from me? Because I believe that, as much as Boundless amazes me, I want to make sure that I amaze you, and that, I'm a good fit for your culture. That's important to me. And we talked about that briefly, very lightly, when I was asking about how many people do you take on, and you said, well, we're not recruiting. And, I don't want to be another number at a company. I don't want to be your 732nd sales rep. And it's got nothing to do with what my sales performance is. I think it's just the fact of, I like working with people. I want my customers and clients to work with me as a person, not just a source. So I guess my first question is, Pat, do you have any questions for me? I don't know if other people ever ask you that, but
No, I mean, I get a, I've been around for 22 years in this business. So, and I've worked on the distributors. I've worked on the distributor side and the supplier side, and I've worked with thousands of different sales folks in all kinds of different capacities. And I've talked to Stephanie, and I trust Stephanie.
yes.
So, and I also had an earlier conversation, and in talking to you, I feel I got a good feel on where you are in your career, even though we haven't talked a lot, but I know enough to get a good feel of it. And again, like I said, a lot comes, our folks generally come from referrals from within our sales organization.
Okay.
So, I'm just looking for people that have knowledge, that have experience in this business. I'm just telling you things that I look for. You obviously have. Secondly, I'm looking for people that want to grow, because I can't. And not to sound cocky, I believe we have the resources to get people there, because I've seen it. Based on our organic growth numbers. And in 3, I'm looking for a sense of, this doesn't sound right, but can play well with others and just got a good energy on them. So 3 of those things you check. One thing that I have heard, it's not a concern, it's just I think I look at it more as an opportunity. Mm-hmm. Is just looking at your hearing you talk about your customer base and the universities and stuff like that. And that's great. But I'd love to put you, because I can, talking to you, I know you have the skill set to go in and talk to and work with management level, more $100,000 type of accounts is what I'm trying to spit out.
Yeah.
So it all goes back to that multiple buyers.
Yeah.
Within the organization. I'm looking for people that can target that audience. So,
Really happy to hear that.
So
I hope
that's
something you can help me with.
pardon me.
I hope that's something that Boundless can really help me with.
Yeah, and I strongly believe we can. And again, analogy here. I feel like we got a good gym here,
Yeah.
a lot of good equipment.
Yeah.
Doesn't make a damn bit of difference unless you get the person's willing to get on the equipment and go. Just like the business plan, you know. So I'm looking for people that are looking to get on the equipment and use it.
Good. Can I call you? I'd like to get off, or can we turn off recording, Pat? Would that be okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.